Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of A Collection of Desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no-sleep work along with several never-before-published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, due out later this year.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Horror Podcast. My name is Shalom.
And I am the arthritic Anthony.
I'm John.
I'm Missy.
Ray.
Rheumatoid Ray. And I'm Tori.
Oh.
Ray, you sound like one of the Golden Girls. I'm Ray.
He'd be Blanche because he's a little slut.
Nice.
Fuck.
So, guys, happy fucking Halloween. It's Halloween. It's, well, in 21 minutes, it's Halloween. We're recording this on Thursday, October 30th, 2024.
Isn't it Devil's Night?
Yep.
It's Devil's Night. That's exactly where I was going with this.
Fire it up.
I don't know about you guys. I got my virgin on the Barbie outside, tied down. Just, you got to roast them slowly.
Oh.
Yeah, better meat.
I didn't know Sean was Australian.
Well, anybody doing anything for Devil's Night? Any mischief?
Virgin sacrificed. No.
I'm going to go riot for the Dodgers. I'm going to go bust some windows in, and yeah, it'll be a good night.
Thanks for beating the fucking Yankees. Always a good day when somebody beats the Yankees.
Good
Suck
call.
it, New York.
So, guys, this year we've done various iterations of Halloween episodes, and I mean, what more is there to say, right? So I was like, should we even do a fucking Halloween episode? What should And then I don't know. I watched something that I've been meaning to watch for fucking 30 years. And I was like, oh, what about Never Seen Halloween? It even fucking rhymes, right? Because I'm working on getting into a hip hop career, so that's where I'm starting. No, I'm kidding. So we're listeners, we're doing Never Seen Halloween, and the theme here is we picked at least two movies. We're going to start with two each, and that we've never seen. Not necessarily something that's new, but something that like it eluded us for our lives. So I meant to. It's on the list. Blah blah blah. So I want to go. We'll go around once and everybody do one, and we'll go around again and everybody do one. So I'm going to start with John this time. John, give me one of your Never Seen Halloweens.
Demons 2, directed by Lamberto Bava.
Ooh.
I feel like I need to soak in the fact that you haven't seen that until now.
I've seen the first one loads of times, but this year was my first time seeing Demons 2, and I fucking loved it.
It's a delight.
It so is. I was like, I was like really embarrassed. Like, why did I not do this?
Oh, it's nothing to be embarrassed about at all. I mean, how do you have a favorite out of the two, or do you? I mean, I kind of just think they're unilaterally like awesome. You know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agreed.
they kind. I mean, if you had caught me on this like maybe about a few years ago, I probably would have said the first one, but they they kind of bleed into each other, no pun
Yes.
intended. And and I don't consider that a bad thing.
No, I mean they even do that weird thing where like they're watching the TV about the stuff in the first one, and like there's a weird.
Well, yeah, that's
There's
supposed to be the pickup. Like the whole thing about is like the events of the first one took place, and
yeah.
this is supposed to be like years later, and it almost like brought about the end of mankind.
Which
And
you could totally tell because people are still living in luxury high rises, right?
exactly. But for some reason, like they
Land of
were
the
able to
dead.
localize it to like this forbidden zone that is walled up. And then they decide, oh, let's do this documentary and go in. And like, it's kind of bizarre because of the way that it's not like you see a film crew following these people. It just seems like, again, like almost like the film in the first one, where it's like, we're just going to follow these people and like, oh, we're just going to film like what's happening. And they're going to pretend like they don't see the camera because the camera like the girl gets attacked um after she like bleeds on the demon. It brings it back to life, and then the demon sees the camera,
Yeah.
or at least the people looking at him through the TV, and then he attacks them.
Well, so
um
John, what did you think about the final moment of the movie in the TV studio?
I mean, as if like the motorcycle escape in the first one just wasn't enough. I loved it.
yes.
Just all of it. It's just
And the
so,
little person, oh my God. I know it's
you know.
supposed to be, I know it's supposed to be a little kid, but legit, they got a little person actor to come in and play a little demon. And it's it's that whole sequence is like one of my favorite things in the entire film.
Where it comes out of the back. That is like
Yes.
one of the most fucked up things
Well,
I've
and
ever
also
seen
when
to this
like
day.
it's fighting the wife, like to get in the house, like the place and everything, like, oh,
Anthony, give me a never seen Halloween entry.
Uh, this past couple years, we've kind of been wanting to get something from Neil Blomkamp, and I remember that Alien 5 was supposed to be a big deal. It never happened. Um, it was just really unfortunate because I mean we all saw that like art like concept artwork that was going around, and we're like, this is going to be fucking outstanding. And he did Chappie. I love Chappie. I like parts of
Oh,
Chappie anyway. I said it. I don't care. Um,
I
but
liked Chappie.
during COVID, he ended up doing a movie called Demonic, which I believe he funded himself for $1.5 million. It's very, very, very low budget, and it sucks. Really fucking bad. I really wanted to. I was hoping to get like another entry from him that was kind of like takes over your imagination and just goes wild, and that's just not what I got here. I think it had an interesting concept or two. It wasn't acted very well. There are a few special effects scenes that are interesting looking, but all that stuff is digitized, and the rest of the film is just very bland and very paint by numbers. And it's kind of unfortunate to see him do a movie like this. And again, I get it's like COVID time. This is just some project to keep him busy, but you can tell with the budget, this guy can really go balls to the wall, and that's just not what you get here. And I understand that, but the movie is just bad, and I honestly just expected better from him because we've seen stuff done on micro budgets that are 10 times better than what I
dude,
got on film from this.
Benson and
So,
Moorhead did their COVID movies fucking awesome, and they had no budget. So I mean,
exactly,
that's definitely
and
no
that's the
excuse.
that's the exact point I'm making. From the caliber of films that he's made in the past, I expected more from him, and unfortunately, it just didn't deliver. So I was wanting to check this out for some time now. I think it came out in 2022, something like that. But yeah, don't waste your time. Not a good movie. Sorry. That's I hate it started off like that, but yeah, just not a
Uh,
good flick.
one question, is Die
Hit me.
Antwood in it?
Not enough. No, I'm just kidding. No, they never made it into the film,
Okay,
unfortunately.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, I don't like his movies. I like the first one and everything. I mean, I turned Elysium off after like 20 minutes. I was like, fuck this movie. And I'm not watching your movie if Diane Wood in it. So Chappie was never meant to be.
Okay.
I wish he'd make that movie about, that like weird little thing where it's like the two guys and they find the little weird thing on the side of the road by the factory. Like that, it was like an extra, like a hidden thing on one of the DVDs or something. It was really odd little, and I think it led to that Oats Studio, which I think is his. That's been on Prime.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think his
Yeah.
time is come and gone.
Well, I'm hoping that he gets, more studio work opposed to just him being bored at home with friends that have no talent. So, I mean, yeah, definitely. Don't watch it.
Okay. Okay. Missy.
Okay. I I watched Becky from 2020. It had been floating around like in my queue for the last couple years, and I've always meant to watch it, like never got around to it. I always kind of forgot about it. Um, it's from 2020 and it stars Lulu Wilson and Kevin James. Um, and I think it's a freaking blast. It's basically, I mean, it's a home invasion thing, and it's basically like if you take Home Alone and a slasher movie and smush them together. The main villain, Kevin James, who is known for comedy stuff, like I don't know him from anything. Except for Paul Blart Mall Cop, which I've never seen, but my brother likes. But he was very, very good in this. Um, kind of like when Patrick Stewart did the head Nazi asshole in Green Room. Like he was intense, he was scary. Like if I didn't know he was a comedian, like you wouldn't know otherwise. And Lulu Wilson she's fantastic. The character's fun. I mean, they kill her father and she's out for blood. The 13-year-old girl in a hat with big giant fox ears running around with her big dog killing Nazi assholes. It's super gory. The effects are practical. Um, and she's brutal. Like it's relentless. She never gets wishy-washy or there's no hesitation. Like I think she's badass and I had a real good time with it. And you can watch it on Prime. I'm not sure if it's a rental or if it's included, but I really, really liked it. And the sequel's a good time too. It's not as good as the first one, but if you like the first one, you'll like the sequel as well.
Now, Anthony, you've seen this film before, correct?
Yeah, I covered it on the show.
Yeah, I thought so. You were a fan.
Yeah,
Becky.
it was fun. It had some good splatter in it. Lulu
Becky's a
Wilson
good
plays
one.
yeah, she plays a fucking psychopath and she's great at it. Her character evolution in the second film is good, but the movie itself doesn't. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's not that good. But yeah, no, the first one I recommended to people. Yeah, 'cause that was a fun one. I took a chance on that one and it was fucking awesome. Yeah, good pick.
It was really good to see Kevin James just totally unhinged too, and just piece of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm chucking Larry to that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know her previously, but I thought she was great, Lulu Wilson.
Tori.
So I was kind of doing a rewatch of some Japanese films like Grudge, Ringu, just because it'd been a minute. And I stumbled across one I had missed and it had been on my radar, kind of forgot about it, and then it kind of popped back up. It's on Shudder. It's Noroi, The Curse. So it's kind of, yeah, from 2005. Kind of a found footage film. Found footage, I know it can go either way, but I think if they're done really well, I really, really dig them, and I think they're really effective. So this one was cool, and it's essentially kind of like Japanese ghost hunters. This guy who disappeared, and it was the last case he was working on, and it's somebody just trying to figure out and piece together parts of his show, parts of other things recorded to figure out like what the hell happened. So it's cool how they set it up and how you figure out everything as the movie goes on. But yeah, it was really creepy, really effective. If you're into the Japanese horror, I totally recommend it. Even though it's from '05, I feel like it's aged pretty well. But it's something I would check out, especially at night. Turn off the lights, a little creepy. Dig it.
John, you know this film?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not my favorite, but yeah, I do. I kind of enjoy it more than Jew on the Grudge, funnily enough.
Yeah, rewatching them. The Ring, well, the original Ring, I don't think it's as scary. I kind of think the American version's a little scarier.
I thought the American one's unwatchable to me now. I tried to watch it last year. I couldn't even get 40 minutes into it. I fucking cannot. I mean, I hate it.
Really? I love the American one.
It was a run. It was my runner-up for Everyone Loves I Hate for The Hill I Die On episode.
But Narita, I had like a younger guy recommend it to me a couple years ago, and like he was fanatical about it. And he wasn't even a horror fan, and I was like, or he's a casual horror viewer, you know? He's like, oh my God, it's he's like, it will fucking rock your world.
You
And
know
it
what else he
did.
was? Wrong. He was
Yeah,
wrong.
it did not rock my world. But I maybe just wasn't in the head place for it either at the time. I don't know. So I know it just popped back up on Shudder, I believe, correct?
Yes, it did.
Well, I think it was mentioned in that. What is the name of that horror doc that they were doing a series on Shutter? Horror's Finest,
Oh, horror's greatest.
maybe. Horror's Greatest. Thank you. Horror's Greatest. Like I've been watching those. I watched everyone except for the Stephen King episode. And yeah, they mentioned that one, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll check that out. And I think they just added that, like, kind of to support the theories, like to hey, because I kind of like what they did with film, like horror noir, like, oh, we mentioned these, now go ahead and check them out.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why they brought it back on. That makes sense. That makes. Ray, give me a never seen Halloween, man.
All right, so when you honestly this October, like I until you mentioned that, I had been watching like new stuff that I'd never heard of. Like I had just been taking a chance on stuff on like Prime and was like, oh, let me check this out, let me check that out. And stuff I'd already seen, like favorites. And then when you mentioned this, I went, oh, okay, let me think about stuff that I maybe have heard of and I've just been delaying or haven't have been on the fence about. And when I started to think, I was like, oh, what about this? And I started looking at the services, and one movie came up, and I was still like, I don't know. So I reached out to a friend of the show and author, Ivy Tolan, and I said, hey, is this good? Because she's one person that like she consistently doesn't like let me down on her opinion about stuff. And she was like, yes, it's a fucking great time. Watch it. And I was like, okay. So I watched Megan, and she's absolutely right. I was such a holdout on it. I thought it looked so fucking stupid. It's a stupid good time. It's so much fun. Like I don't know why I was so against it. It has a great sense of humor to it. Um, the opening commercial to me, like it opens with this advertisement. If you haven't seen it, it is parody and satire of the level of fucking RoboCop, like those ads on RoboCop.
Yeah.
Like the guy breaking into the car, and they're like, "What if we could make it not happen?" And like the fucking car electrocutes him and shit. And I was like, "Oh my god!" There's an opening commercial on the movie Megan, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And it set the whole tone for me, and I was like, "Genius! This is gonna be great." And it didn't let me down the entire time. I was so surprised, and I'm actually in for the Megan 2.0 they're gonna make now. And I
Oh
was like,
shit.
yeah, they're gonna make a sequel.
Ugh.
So I was like, this is fucking entertaining as fuck. Like I was so surprised. It just shocked me. I had been a holdout for so long, and like I think Missy had like sang its praises, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not really into the whole killer toy doll come to life attacking people, but it's a lot of fun, and I just had such a good time.
Yeah, I went in expecting to fucking hate it because I do not like Child's Play. Um, and I was like, I'm gonna know all the beats. It's gonna be the same fucking thing, but except it's gonna be modern technology instead of a doll. And I had a good time with it. And I think we did an episode on this. I think it was maybe Missy, me, and Anthony, right?
I
Was
think
that it?
so. I think it was us
And
three.
when we did the episode, there was talk about how they're going to. I think they had also put it on Peacock or something like right after it came out, and there was like the bloody version, which I was like, really?
Hmm.
That why wasn't it in the fucking theater? You're gonna put that on. So has anybody? I'm assuming Ray, what you watched was the bloody version, so you saw a better version.
No, I saw the regular version because that was what's available. I think it's called the director's cut or something, but I think you have to pay for that on Prime. And because I already could get it for free, I just watched the original and I was like, oh, that's fine.
Wait. So the theatrical cut is free on Prime, but the director's cut they.
No, I think it was free on or part of the service on Peacock.
When it first came out on Peacock, you had the option of watching either the theatrical or the director's cut. So they were able to give you both options. Now I don't know about where they're at as far as what's streaming where, but yeah, that was it was a fun addition. You know, the little extra bits that they threw in were pretty cool. Nothing over the top or like ultra gory, but they did add in a few um additions to the kills that made them a little, that kind of uh
Hmm.
wet your palate a little more. It was good. I had fun with it. It's wicked retarded. It's fucking wicked retarded, but it's such a fucking fun time. It's fucking wicked retarded, but it's a fun fucking movie.
Oh man.
So it's not like Megan meets Crossed in the bloody
No,
version. So she's not like skull fucking people.
No. There's
Okay.
there's less cutaway. There's less cutaway and there is an actual focus on like the kills themselves. So I'm like, oh, they
Okay.
actually did do this. But obviously they wanted to make Megan, make more money and more widely accessible at the box office. So they went with a PG-13 cut, obviously, which proved to be successful. So
Yeah,
I
Right.
mean,
it did.
so
Hey.
props to them.
Universal is milking it for Halloween Horror Nights, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
good for them.
Hmm.
I tried. I watched that
Interesting.
movie twice because I tried to give it a second time, and I was like, "Yep, piece of shit." The second time.
You don't like it,
Wow.
you
That's
don't
okay.
like it.
Right.
That's
That's
okay.
okay.
So here's the movie that I watched that kicked off this idea. It's a movie that I've had no excuse because I've had Max. So I have an excuse. When I was younger, I never saw The Hitcher because I didn't have HBO and it was an HBO film. And as I've gone through life as a horror fan, inevitably people are always like, "How the fuck did you not see that? It was on all the time." And when we were kids, I'm like, "Because I didn't have HBO. I didn't have cable." So the last 5 years I've had Max or whatever it is, I've got no fucking excuse. I finally fucking watched it, and it 100. You would think after all that time, I would just be like, it doesn't live up to the fucking decades of hype. Totally lived up. Uh, Rucker Hauer, what the? I mean, off the fucking hook. Like, I mean
Mhm.
that's trite even saying that. Um, Made me think of that Freeway movie with Kiefer Sutherland and just how
Oof.
much how much I don't like that movie already, and now I like it
Watch
even
part
less.
two.
No, thanks. Now I like it even less because it's like, look, this got to the point right away, and like he's like I like Kiefer Sutherland, but doesn't hold a candle. Howard just turns the menace on, and then it starts so early. So you're like, well, wait, how are we going to keep going for the rest of the runtime here? Like, man, they don't pull any fucking punches, and it's got that really like. There's a lot of stuff in the '80s that is very haunted, and I don't mean ghosts. I just mean that it's like this, like ache, this fever dream kind of. I don't know, and it just has that, man. And C. Thomas Howell is fucking great. Um, Jennifer Jason Leigh, my God, I mean, this woman oh my God, she's just so wonderful, in everything, all the time. Directed by Robert Harmon, who I really don't know. I mean, he did this movie, I always see the thumbnail for. I don't know anything about it. I always think of the Ant movie, which is Them, so I don't know. But it looking as IMDb, he does like all the Jesse Stone movies that are always in my fucking, they're all. I share my Prime with my parents. So like for years, it's just like, oh, they're watching Jesse Stone movies again. How the fuck many of these are there? Um, but it looks like he's done a lot. But so he's done well. He's continued to work, and I think probably largely based on the reputation of this movie, because this is an HBO movie that just, I mean, people just know and love, and I see why now finally. So there you go.
Can you
Hey,
imagine if because originally it wasn't going to be Rutger Hauer, it was going to be Sam Elliott, and there was
Really?
a scheduling conflict. So
Would
that
not
would have
have.
been
It
It
would not be the same movie,
it wouldn't
right?
be
no.
the same movie.
Well,
I can't
word
say it
on the
wouldn't be
street
good.
Would have been better.
was he was very scary. Elliot was. He was really scary and intimidating, but then something happened, he had to drop out. But
Okay.
can you imagine?
So
Would
I
add
wonder if
voice.
that made Howard go even further. Like, hey,
Mm.
the guy that had this before you was really intimidating. Okay, well, I'll just be fucking crazy. I mean, the fact that they don't show you, but they go through with Jennifer Jason Leigh's fate,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't even believe it. I just couldn't believe it. So, yeah,
hey,
I
Sean, technical question for you. On that. Uh, when you watched it, because I tried watching it a couple times on Prime, and I couldn't get past the fact on the widescreen TV, it was formatted goofy, and like it had black bars on the side as well as on the top, and I was like, what the
if I
fuck?
remember correctly,
Mhm.
I want so it definitely does, but I feel like it's only at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I think it's only at the beginning, but definitely, like I remember, I actually turned it off and went to my other TV and turned it on because I'm like, what is going on right now? Because I thought it
Oh,
was something with
okay.
the TV. Um, yeah,
I hate to be a picture snob, but man, when stuff isn't formatted right or doesn't look good, like I can't get into it. Like I'm just so fucking stuck on it.
You're not a snob. It exists for a reason.
Oh, it does happen for a reason? Okay.
No, 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 no. Format. Yeah, it's a deliberate storytelling choice. It's there for a reason. You're not a snob. It's fine.
and honestly, it's not the best looking movie. I think that's why Anthony had mentioned that. I think it's Umbrella just like unveiled a pre-order for like a 4K or a remaster, and people went fucking crazy because I think it's the first time that's on digital, but also I think the screenshots show that like, oh look, we actually made it look because on it doesn't look great watching it on Hobo Max, but I felt like it added to it, honestly. It's the difference between listening to like Chris Isaac's The Wicked Game record on vinyl
Oh,
or on
oh,
MP3. It's two totally different things. Like so it's I don't know. I just watched it in the middle of the night and I know it was just
Mm-hmm.
such a great experience. I just loved it. Anyway, I'll shut the fuck up. John, give me another first timer. Never
And he did Soul Man after that movie. Sorry. Gotta
Well, he
throw that out
probably
there.
needed a break. The Hitcher was scary. He scared the shit out of me when I was 11.
and have you ever picked up a hitchhiker?
Nope.
Then it did its job. Now okay, sorry. It did its job. John.
Uh, George Romero's 1988 film Monkey Shines.
Oh, how is it? Never seen
Oh,
it.
I've never seen
Um,
that either.
you know,
really?
it's not terrific. There's a good. Let me put it to you this way. I enjoyed it, but after I watched it, I was like, okay, I don't feel bad for constantly giving this one a miss over the years. Like, I go to the video store, it'd be constantly staring at me in the face, like, you want to rent me. Doesn't this look freaky? And I'd end up going with something else. And yeah, as much as I enjoyed it, I'm glad that I finally did it. And I'm glad for the sake of my you know, completism of Romero Ovra and that dedication is concerned. I'm glad that I watched it. But yeah, I think I'd always made the right decision going with something else, uh, going to locking out a video rental and finding that, maybe Tales from the Hood might be, a better use of my
Yes.
time.
So is this Monkey Shines is the one that on the cover it's a monkey with a scalpel?
Playing the symbols.
Oh, playing the symbols? Okay. Because I there's a there's a there's a Stephen King book too. Am I wrong here that has the monkey with the symbols?
No, yeah,
Um,
it's one of the anthologies. I don't one of the early anthologies.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I, I'm having a look here, and it looks like there's an alternative cover of Monkey Shines where he's got a straight razor, but it's not. That's not the cover that I've always seen. It's always been the one with the symbols that I've
You
always
saw
seen.
okay.
the Walmart version, the censored.
The
Oh,
blockbuster perhaps.
I guess, yeah.
So is it about a monkey with a straight razor?
Um,
Shaves you.
no, it's a
Perfectly.
quadriplegic who has a helper monkey who essentially controls him, gets inside his head and manipulates him and controls him.
That's interesting. I wonder if it was you know offhand what year this was from?
88. And what's also even more interesting about it is like and anyone who watches uh Joe Bob doing Night of the Living Dead knows, he goes into great detail about how much it is a Pittsburgh film, and it's very much, kind of part of that sort of Pittsburgh TV network. Every pretty much all the people worked on Night of the Living Dead were, worked on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Right.
It's still the same with Monkey Shines. It's still, George Romero working with his Pittsburgh crew and shooting in Pittsburgh. So it was kind of it's always pleasant to see that rather than, just some sort of generic LA neighborhood standing in for somewhere else.
Yes, absolutely. Leave it to Romero. Romero. Wow. Stanley Tucci, Stephen Root.
Yeah,
Interesting. Um,
give it a watch. It is worth watching. Um, is it great? No. Are you going to enjoy it? Probably.
okay. It sounds like they may have got so it's based on a novel by Michael Stewart, but doesn't it sound like somebody was like watching Argento's Phenomena and they were like, oh, what if this monkey uh crippled guy goes the other way entirely?
Like Inga, yeah, for the
Yeah,
the
Inga,
chimpa the
yeah.
chimpanzee. Yeah, I no,
She's
I'll
very
be
gentle.
I thought about that. I did think about that, with Donald Pleasance, and
But- And
yeah,
Inga, because at one point Inga even has a straight razor, and he's like, "Put that away!" Right?
yeah.
So
This is not a toy, not a toy.
it was pretty
Oh,
goddamn good. It was good, Michael. I mean, John.
should do a double feature with Shockma. Monkey Shines and Shockma. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Yeah. So
Wow.
so so yeah, George Romero, Monkey Shines. I mean, see it if for no other reason than, it's nice to get it's another slice of Romero is always going to taste good.
Yeah, well said. Well said. As long as it's the monkey carving it off of him with that straight razor, because the monkey cuts thin. I like that thinly sliced.
Ham and Iberico.
Bearco.
Ah, sweet, delicious monkey.
Faces of Death kind of prepared me for the monkeys, so
Ugh.
Oh my God, Tori,
Indiana Jones did
I
that
know
for me.
exactly what you're talking about.
I saw another one from recent years that Sean had mentioned on the show before, so he put it on my radar a while back, and just I finally got around to it. 2019, 2020, Come True from Anthony Scott Burns. A very Panos Cosmatos, but not type stylistic film, and I really dug the shit out of it. I just finished it about a couple hours ago, actually, before I got back into the game. But yeah, a really great watch. I haven't seen anything else this director's done. I don't know if they've done anything recently, but I'm glad that I was able to sit down and watch this one. Come True was really fucking weird, and just again, some of the imagery in it is it's very haunting. I'll say that much about it.
Yeah.
Good chilling stuff. I really dug the shit out of it. Thank you for putting it back on my radar. I'm glad I watched it. Now I own it from our good Canadian friends at Raven Banner. Yeah, fucking awesome flick. I do recommend that one. Don't watch Demonic and watch Come True instead. That's a fucking great flick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Killer score too. It's Anthony Scott Burns doubles as a musician named Pilot Priest, and he does the score as well as Electric Youth is on there as well. People will know from the Drive soundtrack. They do that, the Real Human Being, that kind of the theme
Oh,
song from Drive. Um, man, that movie really it there. I don't know. They show you some talk about another like not fever dream, but I feel like it puts you in that place of like her not sleeping.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The way that it unfolds is just so strange. I just
Yeah.
really like that
I
movie a
love the
lot.
brutalist architecture of like the building that they're conducting the sleep
Yes.
experiment in as well. Like that itself is just a character because there's some exterior shots of that building and it just looks menacing and
Yeah.
it's really fucking it's a real cool like character, in the film
Yeah.
that I don't know if it gets recognized enough, but it's a strong piece to that film. It's fucking rad. Really cool.
Yeah. And everybody in it is just so good. Like the lead, she's just fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
she is.
Good
Julia
movie.
Sarah Stone. Yeah, she's fucking
There you
rad.
go.
Yeah.
Hmm. Missy.
Okay. Um, I don't know how I've never seen this. I've never even heard of this movie until uh last Friday on Joe Bob's Halloween special. He showed a movie called Satan's Little Helper from 2004. Um, and I feel like I am their target audience. Um, and I have no idea how I didn't see it, but I will probably watch it every October. Um, the It's brilliant in its simplicity. They put a serial killer in a rubber Satan mask, and he's rubbing around town, killing people and setting them up on their lawns. And then you've got this weird little kid who's obsessed with a video game where you're Satan, so he starts helping this serial killer. It's super irreverent and blasphemous, like it's out to offend everybody, but the satire is funny, the gore is good. The They hired a mime to play the Mr. Satan guy, and it's just fucking delightful. I laugh my ass off. Um, and it works for the same reasons that like Art the Clown is funny. Having the mime he just makes all these goofy gestures and it's funny as hell, but yet it's still a slasher movie with teeth. Like it gets really dark. It's got a super fucked up ending. Um, and it's got Amanda Plummer as uh,
Oh wow. I
as
didn't
the
remember
mom
that.
in just like this really weird, quirky role. But I mean, I definitely get why like you're either gonna love it or hate it. You're either gonna think it's super obnoxious or stupid, or it's made for you. I liked it. It's on Shudder and AMC Plus, and I think it's a real good time. And it's exactly what I like. I like when Joe Bob branches out and shows us things that I wouldn't have seen, but this is exactly the kind of thing I want at the drive.
Right. It's I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's good. I enjoyed it when I saw it.
Yeah, it's a blast. And
What year did that come out?
2004,
2004.
written
Oh,
and
okay.
directed by Jeff Lieberman.
Oh, Blue Sunshine. Oh my God, that's Jeff Lieberman. Holy shit.
I don't know what's Blue Sunshine.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
it's
Weird.
Okay.
bonkers.
Cult movie.
Bonkers.
Isn't
Oh
Blue
my God.
Sunshine on Shudder, or it
I
was?
It
think it is.
was. He also did Just Before Dawn
Oh, okay.
and Squirm, which I've not seen, but Just Before Dawn and Blue Sunshine. Blue Sunshine. I don't know if that's your movie, Missy, but the opening 10
No.
minutes, you'll just be like, okay, what? Wait, what? It is just fucking weird. It is a
Okay.
weird fucking movie.
Just Before Dawn is a
Oh,
cool movie though.
yeah, yeah, that's fucking outstanding. Wow.
Mm.
I didn't realize the same guy. Jeff Lieberman. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's fun and it's still like it's got a high body count. It's plenty bloody. Like it's still a good horror film too, but it's fucking goofy.
I feel like it was one of those movies that like it came out still at the time when video stores were still a thing, and
Yep.
like you used to go in, and
Hmm.
like the thing I always remember was that mask because there was like it had a
Hmm.
lenticular cover.
Yep.
So it was one of those covers that you picked it up like and it would move, kind of
Uh-huh.
like kind of like the one with is it Jack Frost is the one with the fucking
Uh-huh. With the snowman.
snowman?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Lenticular cover.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember the cover for Jack Frost. I never encountered this in my video store because I would have rented it.
Wow. The lead kid's name is Alexander Brickell, and I'm trying to figure out if he's Edie Brickell from Edie Brickell and the New
Shut up.
Bohemians Kid.
I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know, if you know what I mean.
Ray, never seen me.
All right. The other thing I watched, and it wasn't like a conscious decision, like I had anything against it. It just kept stalling on it. And I remember when I saw the trailers, and I was like, that might be good. And that's The Menu. I don't know why it took me
Oh,
so long to finally sit down and watch it,
Okay.
Oh, I love the
but
it
menu.
hasn't been that
I
long, Ray.
fucking dug the shit out of it. Like it's a good movie. It's not that long, but it's just one of those things that like fell off my radar and I forgot about. And then it came out on streaming and on renting, and I was like, oh, okay. And I just kept like not focusing on it. And I just decided, oh, it popped up one night and I was like, you know what, let's watch this. And man, that's a good time. And great movie. Like
Yes,
of
sir.
course, strong cast. Like I mean, Ray Fiennes is great, and you've got
Oof.
Anya
Rafe,
Taylor-Joy.
fine as a
Like
motherfucker.
I don't know what I was thinking because I don't know. I have this opinion like you can't go wrong with Anya Taylor-Joy's in a movie. Like most of the time, she's fantastic, and the movie's excellent. Like I love that. I thought the whole thing was great. Like it's just a good time.
Did you eat a cheeseburger afterwards?
I know I should have.
First thing we did when
Paging.
we left the theater was go get a cheeseburger from a restaurant that we like that makes a good cheeseburger because I was
Oh,
like, God damn.
you didn't go watch
Nice.
Paging Dr. Sunshine?
No.
I love it. Student loans? No. You gotta have to die.
Yeah. And fucking Judith Light is in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she is fine. Oh man.
Angela from Who's the Boss? I mean,
I know.
there were rumors she had disappeared in the Amazon. There were
Like
rumors that her head was
Fitzcarraldo
cryogenically
and shit.
frozen. There was, here she is. She said, "No, I'm eating at this fancy restaurant. Now I'm gonna die." So,
Oh.
Angela, I told you not to go there. So
If you want a quick like wrap up question,
no, no, no,
because
no. I want to
okay.
do mine. I want to do my
Oh,
segment.
okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Jesus,
I thought you went.
Jesus
I thought you went.
Christ.
I apologize. I thought you'd already gone a second time. That's
Ray's
my
like,
bad.
I got shit to do.
So I wish that my other one could be a glowing review, but it can only be
Oh.
said it's one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen in my life.
They can't all be
Ooh.
winners, man.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I don't even know that I knew that there were sequels to Poltergeist until much later in life, and I've just
Shut your
avoided them.
Boo.
I've just avoided them because Poltergeist is fucking perfect. And I just am like, why would you do that? And it came up this year, A, because the Hitcher, because I finally did that. Okay, right. But then also, Kirsten mentioned that it's the Julian Beck, the gentleman who plays Kane, one of the most asinine fucking characters of all time. What if we put Angus? Oh, he's busy. Well, we'll get this other guy. But she mentioned she had read something. She's like, "Did you ever see this?" I was like, "No." She's like, "This actor, he actually like it's not makeup. He actually was like dying of cancer while they were
Yeah.
making the fucking movie." So I feel doubly bad shitting on the movie. But
You should.
it No, I shouldn't. It's just awful. There's no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I mean, and it's one of the, like, they don't, it's just so bad. And it's like, it's, John, I know exactly what you mean when you talked about Romulus and the fact that, like, seeing this undoes the original movie. Like, it's just perfect where it ends. And now we're like, oh, we're gonna live with my hippie mom. We won't even mention the older daughter. We won't even go as far as to say, oh, she's at school. Like, we'll just pretend that there were only ever two kids the whole time. Craig T. Nelson has a mullet. Joe Beth Williams, I don't know what the fuck's going. I mean, it's
I
just,
don't hear anything negative, Sean. I'm just
oh,
letting you know.
it's just, I respect. I know you guys. Some of you guys dig it. I was right. I'll never watch 3. There's no point because I just, man, this. I think I'd rather watch Hostel.
Sounds
I
like
gotta
someone
say
doesn't
though,
like Tom Skerritt.
I have not seen
I
it.
love
Three's-
Tom
I was
Skerritt. I love
three's
Tom
kind of
Skerritt.
creepy. Three takes a
Three
totally
is kind of
different.
creepy. I enjoy
I don't
three
give a shit.
actually.
1 is perfect. That's where it stops.
But no,
It,
I mean, like,
three's
you
fucking
know,
creepy though. It's a lot different from the second one,
yeah, it is.
and it's
It's
But
even it's even worse because she's fucking dying in it.
but
I think,
it's so ridiculous. It's just like it's the dad,
yeah,
your hands in the toaster. Dad, it's in the toaster again. Like it's just so it just doesn't need to fucking be there. And like the whole Native American angle, I'm just like, oh, what the I mean, and I know that spins out of the first one, but it just, oh man, I wanted to at least be like, oh, it was like 2 stars. Okay, fine. Man, I think half a star, maybe. I just
Julian Beck though, he's fucking scary.
But the
Even though he's not.
character's fucking stupid. I mean, he is, but I'm just like, what? Who is this guy? Like, oh, God, I'm sorry.
Tequila Monster, you can't say that's not fucking cool.
Dumb
the word
as fuck.
monster,
Dumb
the
as
word
fuck.
monster effect. That's a really nice effect.
And that
Like
that guy had no legs for real.
It's just so bad.
I mean, I had braces. That shit creeped me out for a minute.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna get to me. It did not. It just looked ridiculous. I don't know. I'm sorry. I respect that you guys dig it. And you saw it at a younger age. The first one's just perfect. It's just fucking perfect. And I should have left it that way. So the never seen thing can go sideways on you. So now I will be trepidatious about. I can't think any offhand, but I mean, I'm sure we all have sequels we haven't seen.
I was gonna say that, like, I think part of the thing with the sequels is that, um, and I'm not. This is no slam. This is not a slam on the director of the first film, but you can see Spielberg's hand all over that first movie. And I think that part of, like, him not being there creatively, and as well as why am I blanking on the director's name?
Toby
Toby
Hooper.
Hooper.
Thank you, Hooper, not being there either. Like, it's just Hollywood trying to push out something because they want to cash in on the popularity of the first
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah. It just should not have been done. It just shouldn't have been done. So, and I mean, again, I'm sorry. Like, I think it's amazing that Julian Beck worked like that. That's the great story. I know, that a lot of deaths came out of these movies and whatnot. I mean, not because of the movie, but
Or
but so I
did
Depends
know.
it?
on who you ask. Depends on who you ask. Some people will say
Don't
there's a curse.
don't apologize to us, Baker. You apologize to Craig T. Nelson's mullet.
And I love Craig T. Nelson. I love Craig T. Nelson. And Joe Beth Williams is one of those women that, like, when I was a kid, she looked like a mom. And then as I've gotten older, I'm like, she's fucking hot. And this movie comes on, I'm like, what'd you do to your hair, girl?
Oh, I'd still bang. Still smash.
Now,
Craig T.
Let the record
no.
show.
Now
Let
you
the record show that
Wow.
because in 2024, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I just want to let the record show that was one of the girls on the podcast said that because I feel like it was one of the guys, we'd be
Nope.
in trouble. So thank
That
you
was
for
all
saying it.
She was hot either way, and so was Craig T. Nelson. So
That was all
mullet,
Tori with the smash.
Craig T. Nelson's a
I
good
stand no
looking man.
God.
fucking coach, man.
I'm a big
I was like,
fan of Coach. Good coach, not Goach. I don't want coaches. Anyway, okay,
Did someone say gooch?
guys,
Gosh.
never seen Halloween. I want to wish each and every one of you a happy Halloween. And
Happy
Thank you for
Halloween.
embarking on this journey, and we will be back soon with, I think, Elements of Horror is up next.